Well, morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? No? Good. Either am I. Still having a bug war right about now. It's 1:48 in the morning. It is Friday the 28th, 2022. Friday the 28th. Okay. This is your zombie, Weaver John C. from Roseman, California, sleep deprived and emotionally screwed up. And because of those kind of lovely statements and sentiments we've got right now, it's always so wonderful listening to people online and other people not so online are trying to tell us that the world as we know it is coming to the end. We have Armageddon, guys, in the form of voting. In 2 weeks, our country may or may not be what we think it should be, or intact, or alive. Isn't that nice to hear? 2 weeks. We have democracy being threatened like never before. Don't laugh. This is serious enough as it is. For me to talk about something like this in the midst of the shit I've got right now as it is. So I know that this is going to be important enough for me to blather on, so bear with me here. You know my channel is usually dealing with my grieving, my mourning, and other things concerning about life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, or any other kind of bureaucratic nightmare that we're dealing with in our lifestyle. But at this point, what we're truly dealing with is the survival of our country. I'll give you pause on this one while I take care of my dog this morning. Sorry about that. Well, did you consider what I just said? You considered it and that was it? Shit. Good Lord, people. Maybe we do deserve the election deniers at this point over here. If we're all thinking that democracy is not worth it, why do you think I got up this early in the morning? Because it was driving me crazy at this point. I mean, yeah, I had a little sleep, about normal these days. But to think that our democracy doesn't deserve a sleepless night, worrying about it because of everybody else is going to be screwing us over left and right because they don't believe in the same system that has been running this country for over 2 centuries and a half, longer than that. And we had been still operating. So you're probably going to be asking me, then why am I worried if we've been operating like this? Because in the middle of the night, things could I can't stop. But things could change in the middle of the night. Snap of the fingers. Decisions that people make because of their own ego, their own ignorance and arrogance. Our country will disappear because of the decisions we all make. Individually, we think we're just one decision, but we are still one decision away from ever having our country the way it should be, we think it should be, what it will be, or what it isn't going to be. There are too many what ifs, too many unmentionable variables, but a lot of people screaming and yelling their heads off. At least people are listening to these idiots anyway, saying that the elections don't count because their guy has to win at all costs. This is the American way now. This is American cheating. We used to be a country of law and order. We used to be a country of fair and square. We were brought up under that. Our grandparents, our great grandparents, our great great grandparents, our ancestors had drilled this into us. But what we thought was supposed to be fair and square was still cheating a bit. We thought we were the land of free and home of the brave. Maybe. But with our checkered past, maybe our country does deserve death. Now think about it. We are descendants of Europeans, or different countries anyway. I'm going to talk to right now the descendants of all Europeans who came over from Europe into this land. Okay? I'm not talking about every other country around. I'm just talking about the ones who came out of Europe. The primary ones who came exploring the country, not the country, but the land itself, and decided to take full advantage of it, and more so. The Native Americans, the people, didn't know what the hell they were expecting when we came out. They didn't know why they had so many deaths and diseases caused by weird signs that they never could figure out what was going on. Especially when you had the Europeans coming out into different pieces of the Atlantic and also the Caribbean, not to mention along the coastline. Now, if they were going to be protecting themselves from any kind of malicious viruses, it should have been coming from the Vikings. But apparently it hadn't. Or probably burned itself out and just made it into a local thing instead of a global thing for them, for the Native Americans. But as soon as we put our foot onto the land, what we made sure was we had a footprint, and we were there to stay. We were going to investigate, theoretically, a new way to get to Asia for new trading routes, and instead we discovered new lands to exploit and to colonize and to conquer. Manifest destiny was in our blood, unfortunately, and in our mentality. Doesn't matter what kind of altruistic things there were. No. We were in the conquering, okay? We were into conquering. We're going to be conquering you by taking over your religion, by your belief system, by your caste system, by any kind of system that you have, you will be taken over. Regardless. That's what we did. We made treaties, we broke treaties. We infiltrated the land and made it ours. And we thought we were going to be Americans and be fair to everybody. Hardly. So maybe our country was supposed to be the greatest mistake of ever. Because if we are not valuing the thing that made our country work, the mechanisms of democracy, if we're not making that work, then we might as well just say screw the Constitution, burn the damn thing down, burn down Washington, and be anarchists for the rest of our lives. Scary, upsetting, isn't it? I mean, you're going to be screaming and yelling at how dare you say that, and how dare you give up on democracy and everything else. I thought you believed in democracy. I personally believe in democracy. I believe in representative government. As screwed up as the damn system is, I believe in it. I read about it, try to study it as best as I can. But my vote doesn't count. It's everybody else's vote that's going to be counting at this point over here. That everybody else is having a panic attack. And in some of those voices, we got people saying the elections just doesn't work. Well, then we might as well pack up the whole damn country and let it falter. Are we going to be letting the Native Americans run it now? Seriously, are we going to be letting the Native Americans finally have their chance of running this damn country? Now, you think I'm condescending at this point over here. I'm serious at this point. I'm serious. I'm going to be speaking now to the Native Americans who are watching this. Probably in the future, near future, or right about now, okay? You guys got screwed over. Okay? Plain and simple. I'm a descendant of a European colonist. We screwed you guys over. We screwed over the African Americans. Or shall we call them the Africans, descendants? We screwed them over. We screwed everybody else over just for our own damn country. Does it make me happy about it? Nope. But I'm saying it anyway because it is the truth. We screwed everybody because we wanted to manifest destiny. We wanted everything. We wanted it all. We thought we were gods. Egotistical, sorry sons of bitches who had this problem thinking with the power of a weapon we're going to be changing this whole damn country. And besides the gun changing the country over or changing the land over, our own death and diseases came with us. We carried our own 4 horsemen of apocalypse. How's that grab you? Want more disappointment? Let's get on with it. What happens if we happen to lose the elections at this point? I'll let you answer that one. You think there's going to be no other room? No other things to worry about? You want to bet? We have animal kingdoms, we have insect kingdoms that don't care what happens to the humans as long as they try to survive, and they will survive. I got a huge place. I got an apartment full of cockroaches. I'd love to set loose on the world and just say just get rid of them. But you know what? I can't get rid of these bastards. Not yet, anyway. See, that's my problem in America right now. I got to deal with the cockroaches of America into my place that I never invited, and now I got to find ways to get rid of these sons of bitches, and I can't. You gonna see the analogy at this point? They made sure that they're going to be coming in here and doing a manifest destiny over here, trying to kill this place. I gotta save up enough money for a complete chemical wipeout in this whole place. I gotta watch out places left and right that I'm afraid to do so, but I gotta do it because unless I don't, I'm going to be breaking a lease, and then everything else goes all in a handbasket. How does this relate with America? This is America. This is my America. This is my land. I'm the people. Well, the thing is, I'm renting here. I didn't own this place. I rent. See, I came with my own story into this place. And I have established a foothold well before the bugs. This place has already been established. Think of it in your way, Native American, my Native American friends out there. You came across the land bridges, came across the waters one way or another. Your ancestors made your way into this land. It was already managed. It was already being managed by something else that you guys call the Great Spirit, who we call God, who is under a lot of names, a lot of identities, but everything else goes to him. So, you guys make do with the apartment. The apartment is the country. Even with the bugs and even with the animals, you're trying to live along and get along great with them. And here comes the invasion of the cockroaches. You already got your own problems. Here comes the cockroaches. They're bringing death and disease with them into your country, into your land. They're going to be screwing around with your damn mindset. They're going to be screwing around with everything else you got. They're going to be changing the way you live and everything else. The European cockroaches just crossed over into your land and begun an infestation. That tells you what to do. Yeah, in a way, I have compared our European colonists, our ancestors, as in cockroaches that should have been stepped on and squished. But we're too many. We have just invaded your land. You're going to wait for the Great Spirit to come up and kill us? Us great cockroaches? Guess what? Ain't happening. We cockroaches now run the turf. We cockroaches are now ruining and running the country. Or the land anyway. And that's how you see us anyway. It's cockroaches, right? So with our vote of collapsing America as we know it, and our way of collapsing things the way we think things should be, we are actually representing the cockroach. We're collapsing it, and we're going to say, ha 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 ha. You Native Americans are out of your gourd. We European cockroaches and descendants of European cockroaches have invaded your country. And now this is our turn. I don't care how much bug spray you do on us. We tell you what's going on. Sounds gross, sounds disgusting, sounds out of this world, but does it sound legitimate? I know, you're asking why. Why am I talking like this? Why am I thinking like this? Because having a lack of faith in my fellow man right now as it is, and being fearful of the situation, I'm afraid that the entire country that we used to know it is going to be going hell in a handbasket. And it may happen overnight, but it's happening even as we speak. Because no matter how many times we keep trying to thump and tell people what's going on, are they going to listen? Are they going to hear the fearful cries? Are they going to react in fear like I have? Are they going to be able to deal with this? And how are they going to deal with this? How are they supposed to deal with this? We have a problem. I have a problem here in this apartment. I have too many fucking cockroaches. I've got one guy and that's it. Me. When I'm supposed to gather up all this things I can to nail your ass. Well, the cockroaches anyway, in this apartment. But I'm also have to deal with the reality checks. And the reality checks that I've got to deal with is my country, the one that I grew up and loved in, sacrificed a hell of a lot for. Or maybe I didn't do the ultimate sacrifice for it. Is it going to be turning out to be one huge roach bait? Or is this still going to be a country that I can still be proud to call myself American in the morning? This is not the day for voting, but it is a day for a lot of people to vote by mail and by drop-off ballot. I'm hoping and praying that I reach you folks one way or another. We cannot be cockroaches. We cannot be invaders of this country. This generation we have right now, this and the last, we're not cockroaches. I use it right now because it is the only thing I know of for today. My apartment is literally crawling with roaches. Is my country also infested with the same mindset? And it seems that it's coming out to be yes, because people don't care. And they're not showing that they actually do care or want to care. And it's a scary thing to hear, especially when I keep hearing from other people who want this country not to succeed, but in their own way, they're destroying it. They don't want liberty and democracy. They don't want freedom. They don't want rules and regulations or laws. They're becoming anarchists at this point. Denying elections, denying people the right and the opportunity to vote and to have their decision matter. Because we have this elitism approach here. They matter more. But it shouldn't have to be. It shouldn't have to be that way. But it is. So right now, we are dealing with that. We're dealing with the most important decision in our lives right now. We think this is going to be nothing. We treated it as nothing. And now we're having the results of that affecting everybody and anybody. What do we do about it? Well, we could try praying like crazy. Or we can also make our decisions at this point of saying that if we want our country saved, if we want our values saved, if we want anything of the soul of the country saved, we have to do something about it. And if we happen to wake up in the morning and we fail to do it, fail to save, and just allowed it to be destroyed, then it means I have no more faith in my fellow man of anything and everything. We might as well just pull the plug on anything and everything that mattered and valued the most. We might as well say that everything else doesn't matter a damn, and everybody else can go kiss off. We can take copies of the Constitution at this point, Declaration of Independence, and every other piece of article that we found that was supposed to be of historical greatest significance to us. Burn it, trash it, scatter the ashes. Every damn icon that we have put up regarding our country, everything that valued the most, gone. Well, of course, you're going to scream, wait a minute, what are you saying, what are you doing? I'm saying everything and anything that you value the most, get rid of it. As the country got rid of the values that it held by voting for election deniers, by voting for supporters of fascism, for the values of derision and division, of segregation, of hatred, of putting women back into cages left and right, of only saying that only one group of people and only one group of people only matter in this country, and everybody else who comes in or actually born in this country doesn't matter, because we have the elitism in charge, and here comes autocracy. You just voted in Putin and his gang to take over our country. If that isn't strong enough words for you, I don't know what else is. We make apocalyptic movies for how many decades of how we destroyed our country, how we destroyed ourselves. And this is reality right now as it is. This is me doing this taping and not taking it lightly. I may be considered subversive at this point, saying such things. And I'm not yelling or screaming at you either. I'm not banging pots. I'm not banging heads. I'm leaning against a crutch while I'm talking to a camera. And I'm trying to make a point across. This country, we can say in so many ways and so many words, matters a great deal to us. Only if we matter. Only if we make it matter. Everything else, forget it. As I watch on a table right now and doing this thing, I'm seeing cockroaches, just little tiny ones to large ones, just going across the merry little ways over here, trying to avoid the light and everything else. And not even realizing that their own lives are in danger. But they're willing to take their chances. If left alone, they'll do their own damn business, but their own damn business irritates the hell out of me. And therefore, I gotta get rid of them because they're death and destruction and everything else to their brain. As scared as they are concerning about us, or more scared about these little bastards than anything else. But this is how we're dealing with our own country right now. We're dealing with people screaming and yelling that their voice matters, and we should listen to them because they say so. Well, do they say so, or do we say so, the American people? And for those who are of the Native American lineage and heritage, you're of this people as well. Some may not think it. Others may have already accepted that. You're still part of our American culture and American heritage, of which we have a long, bloody history of screwing things and screwing people over left and right. But if our own damn country matters a damn thing to us, and if it matters anything to you, then the only thing I'm going to be asking for is your help. An individual asking the entire nation. We, I know, have done you wrong. There is no way of recompensing in this, except hopefully to maybe extend a hand of friendship. And hope that maybe one day I'll shake your hand and still call you an American. You were the first ones here. You were the first ones. I don't want this country to disappear. I don't want democracy to die on my watch. I want to know if I did everything else I could in my power to make my voice heard and carried out and carried forward to other people, to let them know that everything matters. Everybody matters. You, me, everybody. To deny our country, to deny its existence, to deny its birthright and its, well, I hate to say it, manifest destiny. Deny everything that our country meant stand and stood for. How many of our soldiers, how many of our fathers, grandfathers, how many of our relatives in our lineage bled and died for this land we called America. We fought among ourselves. We fought along with each other. We went across the seas to fight for liberty and freedom. Granted, we weren't successful on some occasions. Others we were. Some we should never have gotten in the first place. But it happened anyway. I'm not celebrating. I am stating what we are. We're supposed to be home of the brave, land of the free, and hopefully dealing with the cockroaches fairly. But unfortunately, we got the cockroaches running everything else right now as it is. They're telling us how I'm supposed to live. They're screaming and yelling that their voice matters more. I hate to say it, but this is my apartment. This is my country. And I'm not going to let any fucking cockroach going to be taking over my damn spot. That includes any election deniers. It tells me that their damn theories are correct. No, they're all fiction writers and don't even know how to write a damn book to put it out there. And put it under fiction for people to read concerning about paranoia and schizophrenia and conspiracy nut jobs. They all want to be known about it. Why don't they just write their own damn books and try to get it published, or get a publishing house for themselves and do it? Probably save the trees and do it electronically. But no, they want to see their own country collapse, and they think it's going to be a better country afterwards. I hate to tell these assholes about this one, but a place so infested with roaches is no place at all. It's not home anymore. It's a lot of filth. And it has to be cleaned up. And it has to be taken care of. 2 weeks before the midterms of 2022, November. Let's pray if the one who started everything, including who made the cockroaches and us at the same time, is hopefully going to be charitable on both. Not the cockroaches concerning about election deniers, but maybe the cockroaches themselves as life forms. But also that we make sure that our country is still intact. Maybe frazzled, fractured, but still intact. Maybe we have a chance to try to remedy or fix whatever's broken. And we be forgiven for the screw-ups and trespasses we did against our own neighbors. That hopefully we can understand what the hell we did and then try to work on rebuilding relationships. But this time try to do it by common ground instead of dividing and fracturing. We have to compromise. We cannot be just one-sided. We have to compromise. As a white light goes through a crystal prism, it shows many colors. Why can't we be those many colors that reflect that white light, that comprise the white light? I hope and pray for a miracle.